Hello, my dear students. Today we're going to study the past simple. So the first thing that you need to know is that we use the past simple to express the idea that an action started and finished at a specific time in the past. So as simple as that, we use the past simple to talk about something that started and finished in the past. You see, so here we have an event in the past. It started and it stopped right there in the past. So for example, we can say, I went to a party yesterday. Went is the past tense of the verb go. So what we do to create the past simple is just that we have the subject, in this case I, and then we have the verb in the past. So the past tense of go, as I told you, is went. And then we have the complement. So to a party yesterday. As for the general structure, so first, for affirmative sentences, as I was telling you, the only thing that we have to do is take the subject and then put the verb in the past. In this case, the verb is play, and the past tense of play is played. So we only add ed to the verb, and then it's in the past. Very, very simple, right? An important thing to notice is that, look, I played, you played, he played, she played, it played, we played, you played, and they played. There is no difference, no matter the subject. So remember that in present simple, for example, we say I play, you play, he plays. There is a difference for he, she, and it. But in the past, there is no difference. It's the same for everybody. So it's even easier than the present. Then we have, for negative, remember that we always need an auxiliary. And the auxiliary that helps us do everything is the verb do. So in simple present, in order to do a negative sentence, we say don't, right? So I don't play, you don't play, he doesn't play, she doesn't play, it doesn't play. But in the past, the only thing that we have to do is put do in the past. So the past tense of do is did. This one, did. And that's it. So we put did and then not, and we have our auxiliary for negative sentences in the past. As I told you, nothing changes for he, she, and it. It's the same for everybody. So I did not play, you did not play, he did not play, she did not play, it did not play, we did not play, you did not play, and they did not play. If you want to use a contraction, you can also do it. And the contraction is didn't. So I didn't play, you didn't play, he didn't play, she didn't play, and so on. Interrogative is the same structure as usual. So we have the auxiliary first, did, then the subject, and then the verb. So did I play? Did you play? Did he play? Did she play? Did it play? Did we play? Did you play? And did they play? And for answering, for example, if I ask you, did you play? You would say, yes, I did. Or no, I didn't. And it's the same for everybody. Okay, guys? Now, there is something very important in the past. So, as I showed you here, the verb play becomes in the past if we add ed, right? That's the only thing we have to do. But here, for example, with the verb go, we never say goat. We need to change the whole verb and turn it into went. This is because there are two types of verbs, regular and irregular verbs. Regular verbs are the verbs that in order to talk about the past, we add ed to them, and that's it. We have the past. So it's very easy. Regular verbs are very easy because we know that we just have to add ed to them, and then they are in the past. However, they have some little rules that we need to know. The first thing is that if the regular verb finishes with an e, we only add d, not ed. So for example, if the verb is leave, the only thing that we do is that we add a d, and then we have the past, lived. If the verb is date, we add only the d, and then we have the past, which is dated. The second case is when we have a verb that finishes with a consonant and then a y. We need to change the y into an I, and then we add ed. So for example, try, we change the y for an I, and then we add ed, and then we get tried, which is the past. The same happens with cry, which becomes cried with an I here. The third case is when we have one vowel and one consonant. In this case, we need to double the consonant. So look, the verb tap has the structure consonant, the T, vowel, the A, and consonant again, the P. If we have words like this, we need to make the consonant, the last consonant, double. The same with commit, we have to double the T because we have consonant, vowel. Don't worry about it. You will get used to it. It's not so complicated, but don't worry. And the rest, all the other endings of words, well, we just add ed and that's it. So boil becomes boiled in the past, fill becomes filled in the past, hand becomes handed in the past, and show becomes showed in the past. These are the rules for regular verbs. A little important thing regarding pronunciation. The ed sound at the end of the verb can be different depending on the verb. So we are never okay. So the most important thing that you need to remember is that if the verb finishes with T or with D, you are going to pronounce ed at the end. So for example, needed, gated, pleaded, thwarted, nested, and awarded. That's the only case when you pronounce ed, when the verb finishes with a T or with a D. The rest of the verbs are never going to sound ed. They either sound d or they sound t. So for example, laughed and not laughed. No, that's not correct. You need, well, the correct way to say it is laughed, stopped, tacked, passed, buffed, and tapped. And for this ones, it would be loved, stabbed, tagged, pleased, blazed, and tapped. You see the difference? So in all these groups, it never sounds ed. It sounds either t or d. But here, since they finish with a T or a D, we say needed, gated, pleaded, thwarted, nested, and awarded. Only with verbs that finish with a T or a D. Remember that, guys. It's important. Okay, now we get to a very important section. So we already know that regular verbs, all we do is that we add ed and then we get the past. For irregular verbs, we cannot do that. So there is a really long list that we need to learn, and we need to learn it by heart. So for example, let's take a look here at the verb to be, right? To be in the past simple becomes was and were. So depending on the conjugation, so if I say I am 25 years old, in the past it would be I was 25 years old. We replace am and is with was, and are we replace it with were. So you were in the party yesterday. Okay, here guys we have 3 columns, right? We have the main verb here, the infinitive, then we have the past simple, and then we have the past participle. Don't worry about the past participle. We are not going to use it right now, but we need to learn it because you are going to need it in the future. So please learn the 3, but remember that we only use this column for the past simple. There are so many verbs that you don't know. Don't worry, it's okay. This is just to show you the verbs and the way they are shown. Well, here we have the rest of the list, and we have some clarifications. So, the verb hang has 2 meanings. One can be when you hang your clothes, for example, in the closet, you put them in a hanger, you hang your clothes. In that case, the verb is irregular. The past tense of hang is hung. But we can also talk about hang when you kill somebody, when you put a rope around the neck. In this case, the verb is regular, hang, hanged, hanged. Don't worry about this. Don't worry. It's just a short clarification. And lie also has 2 meanings. So it can mean to put your body in a horizontal position, which makes it irregular, lie, lay, lane. But it can also be regular when you don't say the truth, which makes it lie, light, light. And finally, the verb read, where is it? No, it's not here. But the verb read, okay, let's go back. Da-da-da-da-da. You see it here. Read is the same in the past, right? You see? Read in the present, but the pronunciation of the past is different. Read in present, read in past, like the color. So read, read, read. Okay, the thing that changes is the pronunciation. There are some verbs that can be regular or irregular, like burn, dream, learn, and smell. You can say learned with ed, or you can say it with t. And the same for all the verbs. And there are some verbs that stay the same. They don't change in the past. So for example, hit, 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 cut, 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 they all stay the same. So you can say, I cut my hair yesterday, and I always cut my hair. And it's always going to be the same. Okay, guys, let's practice a little. So, if I ask you, what did you do yesterday? And you want to use these words, how would you create it? So let's write it here. I, right? And then we have to turn go into the past. So we go back to our list. Where's go? Here is go. And then we see, oh, the past tense of go is went. So I went to the theater yesterday, right? Because that's the question. Okay. Paint her house. She paint her house. So I'm going to tell you that paint is a regular verb. So she paint, and it's regular, so we add ed. She painted her house yesterday. Then we have they drink in some beers. Drink is irregular, so we need to go to the list. Drink, 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 drink. Here it is, drink. The past tense of drink is drunk. So they drank some beers, let's say on Friday, right? On Friday. Then we have we play soccer. Play is a regular verb, so we played soccer. Okay, let's say we played soccer last week. And finally, he danced all night. Dance is regular, so he danced